Welcome everybody to the second to last race of the Grow Masters Average Joe Sim Racing League season for the next gens. We are coming to you live tonight from the virtual Chicagoland Speedway. In real life, this place is just on the come up. It's going to be back on the NASCAR schedule next year after being away for a number of years. But for now, while that is still happening, we can race on it virtually here tonight. And this is going to be a big race as this battle coming to the championship is getting really close in the closing weeks. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Alex Gay, filling in tonight for Derek Watson. Alongside me, Chris Bathinger. Chris, welcome to the show, and I tell you what, combined, this is a new experience for the both of us. We have not had the privilege of working together for one of these shows, so this will be fun. Christian Hill producing the show here tonight for Green Flag TV. Chris, how are you feeling tonight? It's Chicagoland. It's a mile and a half. It's the next gen's bread and butter. I think we should be in for a real treat.
You know, I agree. Looking at the point standings here, it seems like it's going to be a really great battle between the top three. Michael Harrington with 412 points, Michael Weaver with 410, and then Terrence Murphy with 391. It's going to be an incredible battle for this championship. Sorry if I, kind of got ahead of schedule there, but hey, I'm excited. I'm eager to see how this playoff battle plays out, and it's going to be a great race tonight.
Yeah, this is really how it's all coming down to the wire. Just two more races left on the calendar this season. And this is going to be, it's going to be a big one because, after tonight, it's really coming down to, there it is. It's Homestead after Chicagoland tonight. So a couple of mile and a halves to wrap up what has been an absolutely fantastic season here in the Grow Masters series. Grow Masters. We understand the passion hunters, wildlife enthusiasts, and deer farmers have for creating thriving deer populations. Our deer mineral supplements are carefully formulated to provide essential nutrients deer need for optimal health, antler growth, and attraction to your property. Whether you're looking to promote year-round health or encourage larger antlers, our products deliver unmatched quality and results. And a big thank you to Grow Masters for sponsoring the season this year. Race sponsor coming up on your screen now. It's tonight. It's Scotty the Bald Guy Memorial 180 race fans. Tonight we fire up the engines in honor of Scott Hewlett, a man who'd give the shirt off his back for a friend, who loved animals, especially his dog Governor, and who lived and breathed racing as a diehard Dale Sr. fan. He was many things to many people, but to us he was simply Dad. This is the Scotty the Bald Guy Memorial 180. Let's go racing. And speaking of racing, it's a prime time to take a look at tonight's starting grid as they are getting ready to take to the track. A big field turning out for tonight's event. On the pole tonight, Fred Chase in the number 94 machine. John Sheen, 0.004 of a second off, will roll off on the outside of the front row. Row 2 will be Terrence Murphy in the 5, Jonathan Dominics in the 49. Back to row 3. Jeffrey Petey in the 24 and the 8 machine of Michael Harrington.
Going back to row 4, we have Brian Matthews, 65 thousandths of a second off first place, and then Kevin Burns rounding out row 4 in P8. Coming in P9, Justin Day in that 101 car. Very nice looking scheme there tonight. And then Blake Ward rounding out row 5. Todd Ingersoll coming to P11, starting on your inside of your row 6, and then Jonathan Day rounding out row 6 in P12. Corey Moore starting P13, and Blake Hewlett coming in 14th. Again, I like that root beer scheme.
Jumping back here to row number 8, Brian Day in the 70, going to be rolling off alongside the 9 of Chris Mackey. Back in the 17th, it'll be Joshua Holt in the 52, Steve Blevins in the 51. Rounding out your top 20, Nolan McClurg in the Dr. Pepper number 16, Art Milne in the 15. Josh Revel in the 20. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, you got it.
I'll take over here. Josh Revel starting P21 tonight in that 20 car, and then P22, Austin Oliver Starting P33 on that inside row, car number 55, Douglas Ivy. Rounding out that row in 24th. Oh, I missed it. Jason Rushing starting P25, and then Brad E starting 26th. That was Joseph Myers in the 24, apologies. Bridger Webb in the 66 car coming in piece 27, and then Mike Presley rounding out 28th. Brian Cook in that 87 car coming in P29, and then the La Rosas Pisa number 2 car, P30. And then Ryan McClurg starting 31st in the 69 car, and then that Team TRE number 40 coming in P32. That will round out your grid.
32 cars ready to thunder around Joliet, Illinois here tonight in a virtual sense, but it's going to be a ton of fun. Lights on the pace truck are off, which means this time by we're going to be going. It's 120 laps here tonight, 54% fuel capacity, 4 sets of tires over the wall on this fixed setup. The estimated fuel window about 30 to 32 laps. We'll see drivers have to make about 3 or 4 stops here tonight to make it to the check flag.
Very cold track temp as we are about to go green here. Grip is going to be great tonight as we go green.
And the green flag is out. We are racing for the penultimate race of the season here from Chicagoland.
Two by two in the field. Fred Chase pulling ahead out in front. Getting challenged by John Sheen here. Goes to the inside of that 94 green Alpine Stars machine.
Here we go, side by side, coming off a turn 4. The 01 machine now up in front. He'll lead lap number 2. However, he's still got a lot of company behind him as here comes the 8 of Michael Harrington. Terrence Murphy on the scene as well. Both of them going to dive to the apron here as they try to find a way past the 01. The 8 is to the inside, going down the back straightaway. And it's 2 by 2 through these front 3 rows.
01 is, or the 8, sorry about that. Looking again on that 01 car. He definitely has a preferred lane on that outside in my personal opinion, especially with all this grip though. You can make something happen on the bottom there. As we see the 8 car of Michael Harrington coming in the points leader, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, challenging on the inside again. Great battle for the lead shaking up here. Now what, makes me really curious here, Alex, is, burning your stuff up. You don't want to burn your stuff too early here. To be very, very crucial to save your tires here as Michael Harrington clears into the corner, has that momentum. He's going to clear the 01 out of 4 coming to start finish line. Looking back here, P10. Here we have Blake Ward just going to slide in line here. I feel like these guys are going to start, hanging out here, single filing out, trying to save those tires. You don't want to battle too early. We have a long race ahead. Still have 120 lap race. So I'm going to be 114, if I'm not mistaken, at the line right here.
We take a look here. This is the battle that is going into turn number 1. You see there is the 82 of Blake Ward trying to hold off that challenge from behind, trying to hold on to P9 as they make their way into turn 3. The 101 gonna take a peek to the inside. Justin Day finding maybe a little bit of daylight, going down to the apron, trying to see if he can wheel that apron around. Not gonna work that time by though. So holding on to 9th right now is Blake Ward. To the point you were saying a second ago, Chris, it is very much a situation of Chicagoland can be a place, if you're not careful, you can really abuse the tires because this is not a particularly smooth racing surface with how old it was when it was scanned. That being said, with the cooler temperatures, you might be able to be a little bit more aggressive with it than you would be under normal circumstances, but it will be an interesting balancing act to see who's trying to set this up for the long run versus who's trying to gain positions here while everyone's still kind of bunched together.
Right, as we ride along with the 101 at Justin Day here, it's pretty clear to see what the preferred line around the track is, as Blake Ward is going to go ahead and go around that 99 car, go ahead and clear him. That outside line seems to be preferred here at Chicagoland. If you know how to run it, you're going to do some really good stuff here tonight. As you can see, Blake Ward still going through the field as we're still riding along with Justin right here. But yeah, I think it's going to be clear, you know, the person who saves the tires, that's, you know, 9 laps in and we're still green here. The person who saves the tires the most is going to come out on top if we go green in the end here.
So just about 10 laps gone away, and so far the points leader is your race leader. Michael Harrington has jumped out to about a 0.4 of a second advantage over the 01 of John Sheen. They're starting to put some distance on the field just from this battle as well. You see the 99 of Kevin Burns. He's trying to take away that spot. He will indeed. As now here is the battle for Terrence Murphy and Jonathan Dominics. This is that battle for P4, the 49, trying to take that spot away. The 5, though, not too keen on giving it back as they make their way into turn 3. Terrence Murphy very much in this championship hunt. Every point gonna matter for the 5 as he tries to take this spot away off of 4.
You know, I'd like to point out, as we have this battle going on right here, Nolan McClurg up 7 spots in P12. He's making his way through the field, trekking up on the leaderboard. But yeah, interesting battle there. Again, just tire save, tire save, tire save. That's going to be the key to success tonight. I feel like these guys, now that they're singling out, and they're going to quickly realize that. As we have a possible 3-wide battle back here for 15th. Oh, 9 car up on the top. It's going to go to double file here as Chris Mackey in the 9 car is working that outside line. Again, the preferred lane. You just get so much momentum off the corner there. Corey Moore is just going to go ahead and let him have it. Get clear on the backstretch here.
Yeah, this is the thing with Chicagoland that can happen pretty quickly once you have the opportunity to find your own little bit of real estate. You start seeing it's not that this place runs at all like Darlington, but very similar to Darlington. It is a track where things can really start to single file out, and you see a lot of these individual little one-on-one battles form as we get a little deeper into the run. As we see one of those here, that's Jonathan Day and Justin Day side by side here. This is for that 10th position. And here comes Nolan McClurg starting to slide into the picture as well. The 16 trying to make this a 3-car battle for the last spot in the top 10.
Again, he's getting really aggressive on that outside line. He's going to get the momentum off of 4 here. Looks like he might clear him going into 1, but again, Nolan McClurg up 8 spots on the night now. He's your biggest mover so far, actually tied with somebody a little deeper in the field, but I can't see their name right now for some reason. Michael Weaver, sorry, apologies. But yeah, he's slowly making his way through the field here. Now the question is he burning up his tires? Is he, you know, still saving, and you know he's finding pace compared to everybody else on the track? Ooh, as the 80 gets into the wall right here, it's going to give Noah a really big advantage as he goes for that P10 position.
And Blake Hewlett, who we were talking about on the pre-show, of course, this race celebrating Scott Hewlett. The 13 right now, up to the 13th position. And looking for more as he's going to try to reel in the back bumper of Justin Day ahead. It's about a 4-car length gap to the 101 up there, but right now that number 13 running this middle lane about a groove off the wall. The 9 just behind him, though, that's Chris Mackey. He's been a little more inclined to put it right up against the fence, and that was what you were saying earlier there, Chris. This is very much a track where if you're able to run the wall and run it successfully, you're going to find a lot of speed. As we're seeing that right now with Mackey, he gets right to the back bumper of the 13, and I think he actually clipped the wall a little bit there off of 2. Man, these guys are absolutely roaring around this racetrack right now.
See, I think you want to be really careful about clipping that wall. It can make or break your day. You hit that wall, you lose all the momentum that you had off of, you know, turns 2 or 4. It's really, really important that, you know, you can solidify that high line without, you know, making contact with the walls. I'm seeing a little bit throughout the field. It's a little challenging to run up there, but I think with this track temp, it should get a little easier as they get more comfortable. As I'm looking deeper in the pack, we have a 3 wide battle. Sorry to interrupt. Oh, Reckon 69 sideways. He saves it. What a save. 66, 69 make contact a little deeper in the pack for position 28. What a save by that 69 car. Wow. Ryan McClure, incredible save.
And we'll see if we can find a replay here of what happened to the 69 of Ryan McClurg. He's now all the way back into the 32nd position. He was running higher than that before then. But looks like he was able to keep this thing moving the right direction, as I think we have found a replay of what happened here to the 69. Sounds like maybe some contact with Bridger Webb. So here's the replay. You see the 69. He's running just in front of the 40 of Travis Hunt here. And things getting a little checked up off of 2. That lets the 69 of McClure make this a 3 wide battle. And yeah, just gets tangled up with the 66 of Webb. And yeah, gets that thing pointed the right direction pretty quickly, but lost a ton of speed and lost some track position with it.
You know, I'm not sure that the 66 of Webb knew that they were 3 wide there. If I'm not mistaken, it was a really aggressive move by Ryan. I don't hate the move. I'm saying I hate the move by any means, but I'm just, like I said, not sure he knew that they were 3 wide. And to be able to save that car, Ryan McClure is very incredible. I mean, these cars, these next-gen cars are very, very difficult to save. They want to go around. The right rear wants to just go around. And I've had my fair share of, you know, almost saves, but you know, sometimes it's really hard to get that car under you. So
yeah, absolutely.
Ryan at 69.
They did a good job keeping it pointed the right direction, giving them a chance to keep running in this thing, because we still got a long way to go. This is a battle up toward the front. John Sheen, who's led some laps here tonight, he's battling right now with Terrence Murphy. Murphy trying to make his way up into that 4th position. He's been battling in this top 5 all night long. They're both chasing Jonathan Dominic's.
Sorry to interrupt you there. I'm sure these top 5, top 6 guys are very happy that wasn't a caution there, because they have an almost, you know, it's 1.6 second, almost 2 second gap between 6th and 7th place. So they're just rolling away. They don't want any caution right now. They want to run this race out. So I'm sure that they're super thankful there was no caution there. As we see the battle for 4th heating up here. Terrence Murphy just looking to the inside of the 01, trying to get a run here off the turn. John Sheen in that 01 machine. I like these 2 cars right here. I really like that 5 scheme personally. Try to get a better look at that.
Yeah, that's a clean looking race car, the Skyline Chili machine, taking a look to the inside, trying to find his way past the 01. Nothing going just yet, but he is right on the back bumper, still a car length away, going down this front straightaway. And while this battle's going, they continue to bleed time to the cars in front of them. Jonathan Dominic's was just a car length ahead of him a few laps ago. The 49 now about a half second clear of the 01, as the top 3 have really fanned out from the group. Race leader Michael Harrington 1.2 seconds clear of 2nd place Fred Chase, who's about a similar distance ahead of the 49. So we are really seeing these lead cars, especially with clean air on the nose of these next-gen cars. You just see the handling improve drastically. You get a little bit more downforce rotating through the corner, and all of a sudden you see stuff like this where the 8 is just absolutely checking out from the rest of the field right now.
That clean air does wonders, especially in these next-gen cars. And Michael Harrington just continues to pull away. We still have about, you know, 96, 95-ish laps to go here, so I'm sure Michael Harrington, looking in his mirror, he knows that this isn't done. He knows that we have a long race to go, but he's just really enjoying this clean air right now out in front. But yeah, these guys single file out. It's you know, hopefully we get some green flag pit stops soon. Do we know what the run is for tonight in terms of fuel?
It is not too much longer from now. It was an estimated about 30 to 34 laps here tonight. So we are going to be seeing cars making their way down pit road within the next handful of laps, and this could be the first opportunity for some folks deeper in the field. Try a little strategy, try to gain a little bit of track position, see if you can catch the leaders sleeping a little bit. and start trying to make your way up here, because we've kind of reached the point here with these next gens where one, you start getting stratified out like this, it is really tough to start gaining ground on older tires. And I think we're going to see a lot of cars get really creative on pit road tonight if this stays green, trying to find that track position, because in these cars in particular, it is a lot easier to defend with track position than to attack without it.
Looks like that 15 car of Art Milne. Is that how I pronounce it correctly? I'm sorry if I botched that. You know, pretty new with names here. Down pit road, had a little bit of damage on that right front fender. That can do a lot here, especially at a mile and a half. And in these next gen cars, you don't want any aero damage. So he's gonna come down pit road, get that all fixed up. That 15 car again, exiting pit road now.
We jump on board here. This is the 82 machine. Blake Ward, we're taking the onboard look, what he's seeing. And right now, what he's seeing is the 28 up ahead of him. He's trying to reel him in, but still has a long way to go to get there. About 4 car lengths the gap. And then a little side-by-side battling just in front of them. That might accordion this whole group together if they keep that up over the next couple laps. And so far,
look at that laser focus. Laser focus from Blake Ward. Oh, as the 16 is going to challenge us inside there slightly. I mean, this is really challenging as a driver when the race just runs on like this, and you know, it starts to spread out. You know, it can suck being, you know, 7th place, right? And then you look in front of you and these guys are seconds ahead of you. As the 16 again, trying to get to the inside of Blake Ward, who is just locked in right now, trying to hold him off, has a preferred outside line here, and trying to go hunt down that 28 car.
And the 01 of John Sheen, one of the cars who qualified on the front row, is making his stop. Green flag pit stops full and properly underway here. Kevin Burns also going to be making a stop, but there's the 01 who qualified 2nd here today. He was 4 thousandths off of the pole, and now he's coming down pit road for the first time here today under green flag conditions, and it makes it all the more critical to hit your box cleanly.
Oh, wreck in 82, turn 3, big wreck into Blake Ward, big wreck in 3.
And the yellow is out for the first time here tonight. Blake Ward and the 82 machine, heavy damage. It looks like the 9 of Chris Mackey also caught up in it, but boy, look at the front end damage on the 82 of Blake Ward. That car is absolutely destroyed. I'll be surprised if he's able to drive that thing back to pit road. He might need a tow.
I'm trying to see exactly what happened there. I'm sorry to interrupt you there. My apologies, but that was a big wreck right there. I'm not sure if there was some pit road confusion there, or...
It kind of, to me, looks like the 82 was going to run down thinking that the 16 was going to take the apron. And then the 16 just kind of planted himself a lane above the apron. And how did the 69 get involved in this? That wasn't anywhere a part of the initial bit of contact. This wreck really was just the 16 and the 82. And somehow it's evolved to so many more cars. It was initially the 16 and Nolan McClurg and the 82 of Blake Day.
Ryan Matthews looks like got loose on the apron there, trying to come into pit road. That 28 car came back up on the track after clipping the grass, kind of making that a little worse than it needed to be. Oh wow, and then the 69 just piles in to that 28 car of Brian Matthews. Yeah, just, you know, Brian Matthews really had nothing to do with this. He was just trying to get to pit road, if I'm not mistaken. He was down there on the apron, but I don't know if he got nervous. You know, he saw the wrecking on his outside and, you know, clipped the grass, and he's just planted on track in the 69 and just nowhere to go.
Yeah, no kidding. And that is going to be our first yellow of the day, and that's really going to come at a detriment to Michael Weaver and several other cars who came down pit road just before the caution came out. Now everyone who had not come down pit road yet going to be able to, basically on a free stop here. Everyone who did was trapped a lap down. They're going to have to take the wave around. And there's going to be a huge shuffle about where people are getting this track position. Like folks like John Sheen, who was running in the top 3 basically in the entire opening of 30 laps, he's now going to be stuck way at the back of the field.
And if they do take the wave around here, which I believe they are, John Sheen and company, they're going to be on older tires, which is going to be a huge disadvantage if this race goes green after this caution. That could put them out of race contention, being stuck a lap down right here.
A number of cars going to take that wave around. Just a little over a quarter of the way through tonight's event, the second to last race of the season for the Grow Masters Average Joe Sim Racing League. This is race 15 of the season here on Green Flag TV. For anyone who may be joining us late, it's been a good battle up at the front. Michael Harrington, once he got some clean air, he's really been able to pull away, but now one of his title competitors here, and Terrence Murphy, he's going to be lining up on the outside of him for this restart. You might see a little bit of fireworks between these two as the 8 and the 5 get ready to rock and roll. And we've got a big shuffle up of where people are running after about a quarter of the field got trapped a lap down on the pit cycle.
You know, I was just looking at it. Blake Ward being wrecked there is, you know, the worst thing that could have happened. Fourth in the standings, just really unfortunate. You know, getting involved and all that. But looking through the field, he did have a faster pair still. So, you know, there's a chance, you know, he's 2 laps down here, but could still make something happen, you know, get a couple cautions, work your way up through the field a little bit, get that lucky dog, and you could make something happen here.
Yeah, still plenty of time left in this one from Chicagoland. They'll be going green this time by to take lap 36 on the board. Still a long way to go to get to the scheduled distance of 180 miles here tonight. It'll be Michael Harrington, Terrence Murphy in that front row, Nolan McClurg and Jeff Petey in row 2, Justin Day and Steve Blevins row 3, Blake Hewlett, Jonathan Day, Joseph Myers, Brian Day. Their top 10 for this restart. For Michael Harrington, it's been a pretty dream start to the race. Was able to drive up to the lead and then get some clean air, pull away from the field, and now he's going to have to do it again. His pace car gets ready to peel off down the track this time. Makes that sharp left-hander down pit road. Green flag is back in the air, and we are racing once again at Chicagoland.
Amazing jump from Michael Harrington there, right over Terrence Murphy there. These two guys are fighting for championship right now. These are championship hopes on the line. Terrence Murphy needs to win this race, and it's just that simple. He needs to hunt him down. He needs to win this race. Now, he doesn't need to be in the lead right now. You don't need to be in the lead on lap 120, right? I mean, we're on lap 37. Long ways to go in this race. So, you know, both these guys are probably thinking about saving tires right now, running this thing out as we have contact in the back, in the wall, caution. Far back in the field.
Going down the back straightaway, multiple cars involved. Oh boy, and they're still piling in. Blake Hewlett amongst them, Travis Hunt. That's the 95 machine who's caught up in the well. That's Corey Moore. And they were not alone. It was more than just those 3, but those were the 3 who had the toughest time getting going again. We'll see if we can take a look and see what happened to the 95 and company, but that was a big wreck going down the back straightaway, and something tells me it may have had something to do with the fact that Chicagoland has a curved backstretch, unlike most other tracks on the circuit.
Oh.
Well, the 66 of Bridger Webb got some significant contact there as well. We'll see if we could see what happened there. I think that was the 95 that Bridger Webb hit. Corey Moore, Blake Hewlett sideways with the 50. That's where this starts. Joseph Myers and Blake Hewlett, they are the 2 who get together here.
I'm not sure if there's net code there or the air from the 50 just got under the 13's right rear. But regardless, he tried to save it. Blake Hewlett These cars are really hard to save. When you're turning right, you're probably not going to get that car turned the right way again. I mean, but again, not sure if there was some net code there, but all that happened up here, and then everybody piled in. I mean, after that.
Yeah, this is on board with the liquid death machine of Bridger Webb, and bam, yeah. Just as the 13's coming off the wall there, nothing really the 66 can do. They'll try to get this thing back on the racetrack. But yeah, no, I mean, to your point, it really is, especially because several of the cars caught up in that had nothing to do with the initial incident, and it just kind of fanned out down the back straightaway, nowhere to go. And you see heavy right front suspension damage for the 66.
Yeah, I just don't think the 66 is really expecting the 13 to come off the wall like that, but yeah, what was that, the 95, if I'm not mistaken, getting a big piece of that. Corey Moore got a really big piece of that. Just nowhere to go. He locks up the brakes. I'm just watching this over again. So the 95 involved, 13 involved, 40 got involved in that. Just really unfortunate for some of these guys ending their nights, possibly.
And that was our second caution of the night there on lap 37. So after a 30-lap stint to open the race of clean and green, we've had 2 cautions in the past 10, and that is the old adage of cautions breed cautions. People get on the restarts, people get a little anxious trying to make up track position, and around people go. We'll see if this time is the same, or if they let the nerves kind of settle down a little bit and get back to racing. It's still going to be Harrington and Murphy, that front row. Not enough time for the two of them to really get separated. The 8 had a great restart the last time around. Was able to take control of that spot with ease going into turn 1. We'll see if he's able to do that again this time.
22 cars on the lead lap here. Race is so far from over. We have a long race to go here. Guys just need to settle in, maybe get some single file here, save some tire and get some green flag runs in. Try to get some pit stops in a little bit later. But as the pace truck lights are off, we're going to be coming to green here on lap 41. So really excited as we're going to ride along here with Jason Rushing locked in. He has that little one-handed there. Love to see it.
They make their way up through the gears. You can actually see the 78 shifting there on the left side of, well, from our angle, the left side of that onboard. Got the sequential shifter. Not too often we see the sim version of those. And the 78 going to be peeling up toward this outside wall. He's got a little bit of company to his inside, trying to keep this thing up and away. As they make their way through 3 and 4 cars now up the speed. We've got a lot of side-by-side action still scattered throughout the field. A lot of cars bobbing and weaving for position.
2 by 2 through the field as we are still riding along with Jason Rushing here, really threading the needle on that wall. It gets really scary when you get that close, but gives you such an advantage off the corner. Truly impressive, when you're able to run the wall here, not hit the wall, your advantage is just so unmatched. Nobody's able to catch you, especially with all that momentum. So as we see, we have maybe some 3-wide action getting really close here at Chicagoland. There's a lot of room for that to happen here.
Yeah, it's just wide enough of a racetrack where you can really start to, push the space, experience different lanes, figure out where your car likes to run. And these next-gen cars, for a lot of the criticism that's been levied against them over the past couple of years, this style of racing, this style of track is the one thing that pretty universally people have agreed it really seems to excel at. We're seeing a lot of this here. Cars just sliding all over the place for position. 3 wide, multiple places through the field. Nearly some contact with the 50 and the 78. The 50 is going to be able to slide on by. Joseph Myers just barely clear of Rushing. And now maybe a little more 3-wide action. Here we go.
He was clear there. He thought about it. He's clear again. Great momentum off the corner. That was great driving from the 50 of Joseph Myers there. Super impressive. He knows it's too early not to try to slide up and cut his nose off there. That was truly impressive. Going back through the field here, riding on board the 78. 100 is gonna, the 100 car is backed out of that. Very disciplined driving there. It's gonna stack up the field though.
A little more 2 and almost 3 wide action through 3 and 4. The 20 gonna take a peek to the inside. He's trying to make a move here, and he's gonna be able to make it work. Josh Revel down in the way. He's clear of the 78. Right now, rushing, going the wrong way in a hurry. Here comes the 95 now to the inside. Everybody driving it in deep and trying to take those spots away right now from Jason Rushing, who's just kind of trapped up on that high side. Normally a good place to be, but while these tires are still pretty strong, everyone just able to rip that apron right now, as here comes the 2 of Michael Weaver. It's been a very tough start to his race tonight, but he's on the rebound path now.
Yeah, he's in P23. He's trying to work his way back up through the field side by side with the 78 there. He's a playoff, or a championship contender, might I say. He's going for this championship. He needs to go out there and try to get back to Michael Harrington, try to put on a show, because this is his this is his championship hopes right here. You know, one more race in the season. He has, you know, some points to gain here. If I go over here and I look, Michael Weaver is a solid 2 points behind Michael Harrington. So 2 Michaels are going to be battling out. 2-point difference separates them as he clears that 78 car.
Got a good battle going on here, and there was also a good battle a moment ago happening up at the front of the field. That was the battle for second, Terrence Murphy and Nolan Leclerc. The 16 got right to the doorstep of the 5 and then lost out a couple of tenths here. He's been plummeting ever since that challenge was not successful. So Terrence Murphy very much
start finish line.
Oh, the 7 spinning big time. Brad Gee hard around on the front straightaway. And that car is totaled. You can see the back bumper completely caved in on the Jordan Brand machine. Caution number 3 out on the racetrack this time for a car spinning through the start-finish line. We'll see if we can find out what happened to the 7, but that car looks to have some pretty significant damage.
Really unfortunate. Just another caution here. Really, just some aggression really early because of this. As we look back at what happened between the 7 and the 50 here. It looks like the 7 possibly came down, if I'm not mistaken, on the 50 there. Maybe if there's a way we can get a different angle. Let's see. It's hard to dissect. Sometimes it's hard to kind of put blame on somebody. I will say that it looks like the 7 came down, but we're gonna get a really good look right here. Tight racing at a 4. 7 is just gonna come down a little bit. Yep, just a tad bit. That's unfortunate. Yeah, sometimes just small things like that can just change the complexity of battles. I feel like I've done the same thing where sometimes I'm so focused in the driving that I forget that somebody's on my inside, or I misjudge how much room they're giving me. It happens all the time as a driver from that perspective, especially you can't see very much in the car in the first place. So as we ride along here with the 50, gets really tight off the corner exit there. Seems more like a racing deal to me, actually, with this angle. Kind of hard to tell. What are your thoughts about that, Alex?
I think the biggest thing to me is that right now there has been some misfortune that has found its way to the 50 tonight. This is the second time that we've seen Joseph Myers get caught up in an incident. It was also a part of that backstretch incident with the Hewlett machine in the 13. So that is something we'll have to keep an eye on for the 50. It has not particularly been his night. We're going to take a quick step away. When we come back, continued coverage of tonight's event from Chicagoland. You won't want to miss it. We'll be right back after this word.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We are back, Chicagoland. Pace truck is off, back just in time. We are going green, lap 53.
Great launch on the restart there for the 8 of Harrington. Gets out to a car length and a half advantage before they even gets into turn 1. He'll separate from Murphy and McClurg behind him. The 16 trying to put on some pressure for second here down the back straightaway. And then it's side by side for fourth on back, but the leaders got away in a hurry.
I think that's been the story of the night. Oh, that's 3 wide. Oh my gosh, that Alpine Stars. It's having number 84 machine on the inside there, making it happen. But I think that's been the story of the night. I mean, just how Michael Harrington has just been able to jump the start so well, but it feels like the 5 of Terrence Murphy has been able to sniff it out on this restart as we're looking a little bit farther back in the pack. Looking on that green Alpine Stars machine. Single filing out right here. Looking to the inside of that number 24. I love that scheme as well.
Little side-by-side down the front straightaway. We're on board right now with that 24 machine. That is
like
Jeff repeating. And that is that's a clean look. Yeah, it's a clean looking car. As you see, he's coming off of turn 2, trying to reel in Fred Chase. Easier said than done so far. The pole sitter currently back up to the 5th position. That's the 94. He has led a few laps here tonight, but really hasn't been a part of that lead fight too much, and that might be part of the reason why is Fred Chase just clipped the wall off of turn 4. He's still closing in on the back bumper of Steve Levins.
Story of the night, I mean, Noah McClurg fought his way up 16 spots now. Thought I would just kind of point that out. He's still fighting for third. Well, we'll thaw it out a little bit, but again, Noah McClurg up 16 spots. He is your biggest mover of the night. As we look here at Jeffrey T. With that ghost machine, we see they're single filing out a little bit. I think now we're going to start settling in. Lap 57 of 120 now. They're going to start settling in. Let's see some green flag pit stops. I'm excited. I'm excited for this run.
Yeah, they really just need to kind of get settled back into a rhythm here. They were able to find it in the opening 30 laps, and then it really has been really touch and go for the next 30, give or take a couple laps here. So we'll see if they can get into some sort of rhythm. As right now, the 94 starting to reel in the 51 a little bit. Chase is about a car length and a half back of the 51. Now maybe make it 2 car lengths here in the 1 and 2. Running similar lines. The 94 though, gonna try to get under him a little bit, get some fresh air on the nose of that car, help it rotate a bit. Starting to poke around, see what lines are there.
A little bit of a side note, Noah McClurg up to second now at 17 spots. He passes Terrence Murphy in that 5 car. You know, Alex, with this, I have a question for you. What do you think the key to success is tonight? I mean, these top 3 cars have been pulling away. What is, you know, second and third? Nolan, Terrence, there's a couple of other contenders in there. What's their key to maybe winning this race? How do they get around Michael Harrington? How do they stop him?
Well, the biggest thing right now is that you have an uphill battle if you're anyone not named Michael Harrington, because Harrington has a load of a clean racetrack right now. And while this race has had some green flag runs, most of the most recent bit of it has been very stop and start, so there's been no lap traffic for the leaders to contend with. So right now, if you don't have the raw pace to reel in the 8, you're going to be in really tough shape, and then even if you do catch them, the dirty air that comes off of the diffusers of these cars makes it tricky. trying to actually make a pass when these tires start going away. So we'll see if someone's able to get up to the 8, let alone get by him. But right now, Harrington's in a really good spot. 3/4 of a second clear of Nolan Leclerc. Terrence Murphy reeling in behind him, and then we've got this great battle for 4th. We're on board with Fred Chase as he's just off the back bumper of Steve Levins.
Almost 200 miles an hour into turn number 1 here. I mean, this is just such a fast track. I mean, I love Chicagoland. I think many people are happy Chicagoland's back on the NASCAR.
Oh, the 100 spinning big time. Mike Presley around. The 100, the front end absolutely destroyed on that race car. He was running inside the top 15, and now he's going to have to come down pit road. Some serious damage to the nose of that one.
You know, and these guys only get one fast repair, so they got to be careful when they use it, how they decide to use it. You don't want to use that fast repair too early. If there's any minimal damage, which this 100, it looks like he has quite a bit of damage. We're going to go back and look and see what happened here. Since you caught it. Oh, they just went for the same line there. That's unfortunate for that 100 car as well. Yep, and then loses it. Yeah, there's that damage. Yep. Like we mentioned earlier with these cars, once they're turning right, it is, or right or left, once you're sideways, these cars, these next-gen cars specifically, are almost impossible to save. You see some of the best on iRacing professionals not be able to save that car. I know I'm no professional, but you know, I've lost this car many times. It's so hard to keep under your feet. Really unfortunate for the 100 there with that wall hit. He might have to take his fast repair. I'm not sure if he has one remaining here, but could be a night ender.
Yeah, speaking of night enders, we still have the majority of the field at least on the racetrack. The only car truly and properly out of this race at this point, the 66 of Bridger Webb, who's 25 laps down, caught up in an earlier incident. Everyone else at least is still running. We've got 23 cars still scored on the lead lap here, just past the midway point of tonight's race. And up at the front, oh, something's going on. The 16 and the 8 have gotten tangled up coming off of pit road. Nolan McClurg, Michael Harrington, issues leaving pit road. I have no idea what that was about. Producer Christian, you got to pull up the replay of this. Because I turned my head to take a look at what was going on, and they're just sideways at the exit of the pit lane.
Oh, I see that too now. Looking at this this replay right here. See if we can get a look at what happened.
We are getting the in-depth view of the 16, yeah.
Wow, 3 wide off pit road exit.
Terrence Murphy is so unbelievably lucky that his collision physics had not applied yet coming off of pit road. Otherwise, he would have been caught up on this as well. But let's take another look at that. Yeah, just running out of space.
There is a slight grace period in which you can ghost through people's cars.
Extra damage there with the 70 as well.
Yeah. Oh, sick. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That 8 car. Michael Harrington, your race leader for a lot of the night. Gonna have some damage there. That aero damage, if I'm not mistaken, could be enough to possibly hurt his race in a lot of ways. I mean, you don't want aero damage in the next gen car on a 1.5-mile track. It's not a good combination for success.
It's really not, and we'll see just how bad that damage is in just a moment. There was a couple of cars who got a little off cycle with the rest of the field here, so it'll be Todd Ingersoll up at the front in the 38. Douglas Ivey in the 55 will be restarting to his outside. Brad Gee, who we saw spin through the infield just a few laps ago, he's up to 3rd now. And Justin Day will be 4th here on this restart. Race leader Michael Harrington from before this caution is all the way back to 7th as the green flag's back in the air. And this field's about to get a little crazy going in the 1. A couple different strategies all at work.
As you were mentioning, those top 3 stayed out. They're going to be hunted down. I mean, 12 lap holder tires here. They're going to be hunted down, and they're going to be hunted down.
Oh, Harrington's around. Oh, and heavy contact for the 9. Chris Mackey, big contact. They're still wrecking down the back straightaway.
Michael Harrington, your race leader for a lot of the night here. I think he's led every lap, but these last few under caution. Try to get a replay, try to see what happened. A little bit deeper in the pack here, about middle of the pack. Really unfortunate for Michael Harrington and everyone involved with that. I mean, just a lot of playoff hopes on the line, championship hopes on the line. Let's see if we can get a good replay here. Oh, well, the 8 and the 9 made contact, heavy contact.
I think Harrington may have started going around. I think on the cold tires, may have tried to juice it up a little too fast off the corner and just started losing the back end here. Yeah, it gets a little loose, and then as he's trying to save it, the 9 finishes the job. The two of them go spinning, and that's when the 50 gets collected. That's the third incident Myers has got caught up in here tonight. The 49 of Dominic's caught up as well, the 20 of Revel. And that's just the starting bit of the amount of cars who got wrecked.
It's important to note that Michael spun on pit road, so his tires were still hot. I mean, that was a very recent incident. His tires were still very, very hot from that incident. They don't just cool down that quickly. Even though the track temperature is only 68 degrees, those warm tires could make all the difference, especially on those restarts. So Chris Mackey just right on his bumper there. Unfortunate 50 car involved, the 80 car involved there as well. And this is really unfortunate for Michael Harrington, but I believe he still should have a faster pair. So championship is not out of the question. It's still in play for Michael Harrington.
Yeah, he's done a good job tonight getting himself in position, but now he's going to have quite the hurdle to overcome to try to keep himself in the hunt. He did not have a particularly big advantage coming into tonight over the two of Michael Weaver. Weaver now with the best running position he's had all night. It's only 15th, but he was trapped a lap down for a good bit of the early part of this race. So he's very much back in the mix. And then Terrence Murphy has been basically a top 3 car all evening long, and he's the only one of those 3 who continues to run in that spot as we go here onto lap 68.
You know, and I feel like nerves could possibly be catching up to these guys, you know, bringing out these cautions. The championship literally could possibly come down to this race. You have a bad finish here, you're not going to smell that trophy. Michael Harrington is going to have a lot of work to do. Running P22 right now. Is it you need, or P20? My apologies. You're going to need to get back up there. But Michael Weaver having a stellar night so far. Yeah, maybe he's only in 14th, but still, he's leading these championship standings right now.
Folks, we're going to take a quick step away as they've extended the caution one more lap to get this field put together. When we come back, continued coverage of tonight's race. The Scotty the Bald Guy 180 from Chicagoland continues just after this.
Welcome back. We are taking the green flag here. Pace truck is off onto pit road. Green, 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 green. Douglas Ivy with a great jump. Great restart as the 5 is going to look to capitalize. And we are back racing 2x2x2 through the field. A very good move by the 5 car, Terrence Murphy right here. Going on the inside of the 55, going for the lead, going for it all. Terrence Murphy on the inside of Douglas Ivy. By the way, 12 lap, fresher tires. Has the inside here, has the momentum off the corner. Still side by side, 55 of Terrence Murphy and Douglas Ivy here.
It was a nice move by the 5, side drafted to get alongside, and then the moment he had the advantage, broke away down to the apron as far as he could to break that side draft. Not enough though to hold on to the lead. Douglas Ivy looking really strong on the outside. He'll retake the lead, that 55 back to the point, as we've got ourselves quite the battle happening just outside the top 5. Cars trading positions left and right. The 7 right now of Brad Gee just trying to hold on to this spot. The 101 of Justin Day putting on the heat as McClurg trying to get away as well. He's to the inside of Todd Ingersoll.
We have some just incredible racing throughout the pack here. This is the battle for, what is this? Battle for 3rd heating up, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, in the wall, 7 car, Brad Gee in the wall. His night continues to get worse, I believe. He had a couple wrecks tonight, and there's a caution. Where on the track? Where on the track?
The 28 of Brian Matthews sideways at the entrance to turn 3. And he's missing something. Or no, he was just off kilter with the transition from the apron to the track. But definitely sideways. And it sounds like Kevin Burns also caught up in it. So multi-car crash here on lap 73.
Yeah, Kevin Burns oh, there's the tow. Kevin Burns tows it to pit road as we get a replay here. I'm gonna see what happened. 3 wide. There's still 3, holding that 3 wide for a long time. Ooh.
28 tried turning it in before the 78 was fully clear or alongside, and as 28 comes up the racetrack, just absolutely tags Kevin Burns in the 99s. And 28 of Matthews got some work to do on that race car. We're on board now with Kevin Burns, and yeah, that's how quick it can happen. Heavy
Big,
left
just
damage.
minding his own business. That, you know, stuff that just sucks when that's how the cookie crumbles. He had nothing to do with that. Unfortunate. And Kevin Burns, the 99 car's night is gonna come to an end, unless he has a fast repair here. But that tow is gonna take a very long time here. So if he is able to continue, if they're able to get that car fixed up, he's gonna go a couple laps down, unfortunately. But man, that's unfortunate for Kevin.
So we'll see some work being done on both the Matthews and Burns machines on pit road right now. Adding 2 more cars to the lap down counter. Only 22 cars remain on the lead lap at this point, from race leader Terrence Murphy all the way back to Ryan McClurg in the 69. As I'm keeping an eye on the field, one name continues to creep ever closer to the front of the field here, Chris. That too of Michael Weaver started 30th. He's now up to 11th. It's his highest running position of the day and is starting to put a little bit of distance on Michael Harrington right now, as the 8 is still trying to work back from that earlier spin.
Yeah, and you know what? We've been talking about Terrence Murphy, or sorry, not Terrence Murphy. I'm sorry. I was going to get to that. But Michael Weaver all night, just continuing to work his way through the field. As you said, he's up 18 spots as it's showing right now. But another guy I wanted to talk about who is contending for a championship, he's a solid, 20, let me do my math, 9 plus 12, 21? 21 points out of the championship contention. A good finish here and a good finish next week. We could be crowning Terrence Murphy the championship, as he's our leader right now. But I feel like it's going to be really important to keep Michael Weaver and Michael Harrington back there.
Yeah, Murphy in a really good position right now. He's got 2 wins on the season. He's looking for number 3. Won early this season at Michigan, and then 2 weeks ago at Atlanta, trying to add Chicagoland to that list as well, as the lights are off on the pace truck, which means we're going to get back to green flag action here, this time by the hard left-hander being made by that truck. Green flag high in the air. They're back in the restart zone. Here we go once again. Terrence Murphy going to lead Douglas Ivy and company into turn one.
No, Alex, I will say the biggest change, the biggest difference tonight has been the jump on the restarts. That's what's been the difference maker.
And the car who's able to jump out and get that clean air has really been able to just set sail from there. As we see cars 3 wide deeper in the field. Well, everyone weaving on these restarts, trying to get every little bit of track position that isn't nailed down. And there's the pole sitter, Fred Chase. He's knocking on the door of a podium running spot. Nolan McClure trying to hold him off through 1 and 2.
Interesting battle here shaping up as you see Chris Mackey coming off of pit road. He was involved in one of the more recent incidents. But yeah, as you see, Fred Chase is trying to work his way back up to that top position. He's currently down 3 spots, but he has some older tires in front of him. Douglas Ivy holding on pretty well actually in that 55 car. Very surprising. He hit it on lap 51, so the tire difference is going to be about 12 laps. I'm interested to see if he's going to start fading as we see that 84 car Fred Chase again just going on the outside of Nolan McClure there. Just that outside momentum is just so strong here at Chicagoland.
We're seeing these cars work their way through the corner. You see the 94 Chase up to 3rd, trying to take 2nd place away now from Douglas Ivy in the 55, trying to hold on to the spot as he goes up toward the wall. Chase down by the apron. Going to be able to make a bit of a shorter lap here as the 16 under pressure from Justin Day and Corey Moore. The 2 of them looking to pounce. Here goes the 101 to the inside of 3.
Here comes Justin Day on the inside of turn 4. Is this going to open a door for Corey Moore, though? We haven't talked about him too much tonight. These 2 battling could open up a door for him. I mean, hey, and then as we go up a little in the field here, the 94 of Fred Chaser pole sitter is going to clear the 55, barely crossover, contact made. Douglas Ivy is going for it all on the inside of Fred Chase. Here going into 4, he's not going to have enough. Just those old tires are really getting to him. Now Fred has his sights set on Terrence Murphy. He wants to go back and lead this race. Set the pole. He set the fastest lap. He wants to go back and lead, finish out this race as we're going on to lap 81.
Yeah, we know the 94's got really good short run pace here tonight. You're the pole sitter for a reason if you're the 94. Trying to maximize on that now. Nothing standing between you and the race leader, Terrence Murphy. He'll see if he can reel him in. That gap right now fluctuating around 7/8 tenths of a second. 55 at Douglas Ivy. He's put together a really strong campaign though here tonight. He's up 20 spots from 23rd to 3rd. So we take a look at this side-by-side battle just behind him.
Yeah, Nolan McClure trying to get his revenge here back, but again, that 101, just the outside line is what's going to dominate here. I feel like Douglas Ivy, I'm really impressed with as we are right along with Nolan in VR. He is locked in. He had both hands on the wheel here. 10 and 2, if I'm not mistaken. 10 and 2, is that right? Isn't that
yeah, that's what they. Yeah, I think so. I think they also teach you in driving school maybe not to be going 190 something into the corners, but Nolan McClure and the rest of them going to ignore that one here tonight.
It's really interesting though as we ride along with Nolan, just how focused he is, how locked in he is. He's trying to track down that 55 car now, who is on older tires, so I think it's just really important to stay patient as he's going to push it 3 wide. Nolan McClure to the bottom of that 101 of Justin Day. What a battle we have here. Back to 2 wide.
Yeah, they both clear the 55, and oh boy, here he comes back again. It's going to get messy.
See, here we go. Here comes that train on the outside line. That's not what Noah wants to see. Even if he is on old tires, he's still challenging the pass when he has the preferred lane on the track. And this is just going to allow Justin Day as there's contact to drive away. Douglas Ivy, and Nolan McClurg make a little contact there, but Nolan's going to be going in on the inside into turn 1.
McClurg on the apron. He's got Corey Moore coming with him down the backstretch. Douglas Ivy trying to hold him off on the high side. 55's been able to keep him at bay for now, but the 16 starting to apply quite a bit of pressure on the inside. Here they go to the stripe. It's basically a dead heat between the two at the line, but they'll stay side by side going into turn 1.
This has been a really exciting battle here for 4th, just shaping up, but these two battling, older tires with the outside line, and maybe, the faster car with the newer tires. This is shaping up for us to have a little bit of a bigger pack here. While these two battle, it's slowing them both down. The 51 sending it in the turn. Really tight in the center of 4 right there. Who's at the 51 of Stephen Blevins, if I'm not mistaken. He's going to fall back a little bit after that. But anyway, this is going to make a little bit of a pack. The 55 isn't necessarily slow, but he is on 12-lap older tires, which makes a world of a difference, especially in these cars. So, him running that outside line, getting the momentum off the turn, it's really hard to pass here at Chicagoland. So, 55, on the apron, is he pitting? Maybe.
Yeah, I think he is.
Different strategy here.
And that would check out. This is about the time you could come down pit road and make it to the end. You really have to stretch it, but it is feasible here. The 51 of Blevins nearly tagged the 16 of McClurg there through 1 and 2. That got pretty dicey.
Michael Weaver.
Yeah. Weaver's up to 10th. How about Michael Harrington, though? He's driven himself all the way back to 6th. That's a man on a mission right now as he's trying to reel in Corey Moore. As more cars are scattering off of 4, clipping the wall. They are leaving it all out there right now.
You know what, Alex? This battle is going to start heating up for this championship. Michael Weaver in 9th, Michael Harrington in 6th, Terrence Murphy in 1st. They're looking on that P1. They want to get past Terrence Murphy here. These 3 guys are your championship contenders. They need to put together a really solid finish if they want to go win it all at Homestead next week.
We're seeing that unfold right now. It's been a gritty effort so far for the 8, trying to keep this championship hope alive. Came in as the points leader today, got shuffled all the way back to the tail end of the pack, but right now looking in good shape as he's back up to 6th. Trouble is, though, his 2 championship rivals are also both running in the top 10 right now. One of them as the race leader. As Harrington going to take a stab to the inside of Moore here in 3 and 4. The 95, a lane off the bottom. Going to try to get the hammer down. We'll see if he can hold him off going in the 1.
Again, yeah, Michael Weaver, your biggest move of the night, up 20 spots. Don't count him out as we see Michael Harrington sends it in there, goes for glory, clears the 55 of Corey Moore. He's just going to tuck in behind him. He knows that Michael Harrington is the faster car right now. He's just going to tuck in, save his tires. Smart move. I mean, we still got, 30 laps to the end or so. So, lap 91 of 120 here. So, smart, just run it out. It's going to come down to strategy. Maybe we see some 2-tire calls. I mean, now that we're in the fuel window. I saw it last week in a league that I commentated. 2 tires between 4 tires between 1st and 2nd was the difference in the race. So the person with the guy who took 2 tires won the race. So maybe we see some differing strategies here. It's definitely a risk with that offset of both sides, but hey, take a risk, you know what I mean?
You know what they say, gotta take chances to win, and we'll see who's gonna live up to that one. As we are now under 30 laps to go, we're watching this battle here between the 24 and the 95. That's for 6th place on the racetrack. Cars getting ready to come down pit road for the final time here tonight. They are within the fuel window to make it to the end. It's just a matter of when they pull the trigger on it to try to give themselves the freshest tires possible to make it to the end of this one.
You know what, Alex, what I'll say is this can make or break your race right here. You have a bad pit road entry, you speed, you have an unsafe pit entry, whatever it may be. That could be the difference between, for example, Terrence Murphy winning this race or, finishing laps down. So it's important to really nail this pit stop up and coming here for a lot of these guys.
Yeah, and this is the thing, is if you were to make a mistake on that initial green flag pit cycle that we had at lap 30, You know, there's plenty of time to try to overcome it. Obviously not ideal, but at least it was still 90 laps in the race to get over that hurdle. Now, you do not have the time. This is the money stop for a reason. Because if you mess this thing up, you are not going to have a chance to undo that damage. As we're seeing a battle here. That's the 8 of Harrington taking a peek to the inside of Day. Dominic's just in front of him. That's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th on the racetrack. All starting to converge here with 26 laps to go.
Justin Day just needs to hold his line. He doesn't need to get too aggressive here. If he runs that top, I'm sure he can hold off Michael. It'll be a great battle. But yeah, that 101 car just needs to hold his outside line as you see him doing. He's not going to give it up. He knows he has the preferred line. As Michael Harrington looking on the inside, he's going to send it in there. Signature move on the night from Michael. Not going to quite get cleared door to door. Going to come up the track a little bit. A little tight off the exit for Michael Harrington in that 8 car there. But this battle is going to start heating up, and maybe Jonathan Dominics can run away with this, you know, as they battle.
Yeah, he's starting to get a little bit of separation. Is Harrington going to slide past Day here coming off of 4? The 8 now up to 3rd place, the 101 back to 4th. Even with losing that spot, though, it's been a really strong day for the 101 of Justin Day. He has been in that top 5 basically all night long, currently running in that 4th spot, sitting in prime position to take home a boatload of points here tonight if he's able to close this one out.
And, you know, as those battles were happening for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, whatever it may be, Terrence Murphy is just walking away with it right now at 2.8 seconds over Jonathan Dominics. He's looking to walk away with this. He nails a pit cycle here. He hits his marks. He could walk away with a win here and go win a championship next week. As we come up on some lap traffic here, that 69 car of Ryan McClurg we saw get in a wreck earlier up at the front here. But as we ride along with the 51 of Steven Blevins here, single filed out so far. These guys are getting ready to pit. They don't want to make any unnecessary moves. There's no need to really battle too hard. It's just nail your marks, but I think a lot of these guys might be banking on a caution right now. You know, as Terrence is just kind of running away with it in a way. It's definitely not over, but
well, this pit cycle is going to be the real indicator to what you were saying. The 5 has a healthy lead, but with one more pit stop to go and a lot of cars beginning to do the undercut strategy on the 5, we're going to see how well he can keep that up over the longer run. You know, when we're talking about our race leader, Terrence Murphy, who's just peeling down pit road now, so he'll be making his stop. You know, at the start of this cycle, he was running low 29s, you know, 29.8, 29.9. When he came down pit road, he was running about 30.5, so was bleeding about 0.6 a lap to those who already came down pit road. Not a huge gap, but when he didn't have a tremendously large lead, could be all the difference.
You know, this can work out really well if you played it right? If you think about it, maybe he burned his stuff up trying to get that big gap of a lead. You know, we've all done that. But now he comes down pit road, he puts fresh four tires on the car. You know, he's going to go out there and he's going to be quick. He's going to be, you know, hopefully looking to spread that gap. I feel like this is a really great time to kind of short pit it a little bit and not completely run it dry. Because now his new tire advantage is going to be so much greater than the other guys. They might not have enough time to catch him in the end.
We got 20 laps to go here tonight from Chicagoland. This is the Scotty the Bald Guy 180. And the Grow Masters Average Joe Sim Racing League. Michael Harrington down pit road, and this is going to be, oh boy, he was sliding it trying to get off pit road. He's had a lot of issues coming off of pit road here tonight, man. It's been, you saw the contact with the 16. And
that could be a penalty. What I just saw slides up on the race surface a little bit. I don't know if that, I don't know why racing really would count that, but that might be unsafe pit exit. I'm not for sure. No penalty given. We're getting word from officials. But yeah, he's just trying to get it all on the exit of pit road from the looks of it. You know, just trying to get as many seconds as possible off the road as he's going to battle 16 and Noah McClurg here, who is on the old tires, right? This isn't for position right now. Oh, sorry, it is for position. I'm sorry. They just came out at the same time. That's my mistake. Battle for 6th right here.
And they both just cleared the 49, who was running in front of them before that pit cycle. Dominic's trying to get back up to speed. He'll have slightly fresher tires, but has some work to do to get by these two. Very notably, the 5 of Terrence Murphy, a phenomenal stop. He is 6 seconds ahead of Michael Harrington. And right now, I believe only 2 cars have, there's 2 cars who still need the pit. I want to say it's Ingersoll and Ryan McClurg. Fred Chase, though, with a very early stop, has some track position.
Yeah.
Trying to hold off Terrence Murphy. Not sure if it's going to work, though, because Murphy is there.
Yeah, this is actually the battle for the lead. Todd Ingersoll Jr. actually stayed out. Same with Ryan McClurg right here. But Fred Chase is being hunted down right now. He did pit on lap 95, so Terrence Murphy has 5 lap fresher tires. So that does make a really big difference here. Terrence plays his cards right. You should get around him. It's relatively easy. Still on board here with Nolan McClurg. As Michael Harrington just driving away right now. Those tires make a really big difference. So
here's that battle we were talking about. Fred Chase on the outside, Terrence Murphy on the inside. Door to door, 16 laps to go for what will be the race lead. Once Ryan McClurg and Todd Ingersoll come down pit road, one of which already has is Murphy. Gonna take that spot away again. He's now clear of the 94. Fred Chase doing what he can to not lose the 5.
That lap traffic could have, made or break Fred Chase's race right there, but unfortunately, I think the tire difference is just way too much. I feel like 5 laps here is so much, especially on a 1.5 miles. Like I said before, these guys are really going to bank on a caution, or Terrence Murphy, mistake-free, is going to walk away with this.
It's been a great night so far for the 5 of Terrence Murphy. Fred Chase doing a great job to try to capitalize off that pole position. He's running second. He's within striking distance of the leader, but he's on older tires than the 5, so just trying to nurse this thing home. Notably, though, something that I'm keeping an eye on here, Chris, 14 laps to go. Michael Harrington only 4 seconds away now from Terrence Murphy. A few laps ago, that number was at a 5.8. He is reeling in the race leader.
He's giving it his all, but here's the situation, though. Fred Chase, 3.9 seconds ahead. We assume with Michael Harrington having 6 lap fresher tires than Chase, there's a possibility that Terrence Murphy has the bigger advantage because, now Michael Harrington has to worry about possibly getting around Fred Chase, assuming he's going to be able to get to him, with 13 laps. But this could really shake up to be an amazing finish here. And who knows? Maybe we get a caution that shakes everything up. I don't know. It's not out of the picture.
Yeah, especially with the amount of cautions we had through the middle of this race. That is always a danger that is lurking. As we see now 12 laps to go on the ticker. Just about 8 miles left? Something like that? No, 16. I can't do math. 16 miles left in this race. That's how math works. Math always difficult here in the Green Flag TV booth. Watching Michael Harrington.
As we ride along. Sorry to interrupt you. I'm really, really sorry to interrupt you right there. We have some lap traffic right here. So, again, this is going to shake some stuff up if we go up front a little bit more. Fred Chase, clean air. Terrence Murphy, clean air. Michael's going to have to put a lot of work in if he wants to win this race.
Yeah, that gap now down to 3.1. Reeling in Fred Chase ahead of him. Fred Chase has lost touch, though, with Terrence Murphy. He's now about a second back of the race leader.
And that draft is important. I get we talk about dirty air all night, but that draft still is important if you use it the right way. Dirty air really does upset this car, especially this next-gen car that I've noticed. A lot of things upset this car, actually, but gap down to 3 seconds. Michael Harrington actually gaining some time here on Terrence and Fred Chase, holding about even right now.
Yeah, so as they run with 10 laps to go, Murphy, Chase, Harrington, Dominic McClurg, your top 5. And something to keep an eye on, Michael Weaver now up to 9th. He's up 21 positions from where he started. So your top 3 in the points, now top 9 on the running order. How they've gotten to this point, though, has been wildly different for the 3 of them. Murphy has been up there all night. Harrington's been up and down. And for Michael Weaver, it has just been scratching and clawing for every little bit of available real estate on the track tonight. He has really had to grind his way through the field to get up into the top 10.
Yeah, he had that wreck a little bit earlier in the race. He sustained a little bit of damage. They had to go get fixed. But despite all that, he's still running P3, still having a great race right here as he comes up on some more lap traffic. This is the 78 of Jason rushing here. But what I'll say is Terrence Murphy really needs this race win tonight. Coming into the playoffs again, we're talking about it. Coming into this championship race next week at Homestead again. We're one race away. Terrence Murphy is 21 points out. This would really shake things up, and frankly, this championship race could be one for the ages. If he wins this race, he puts himself into really good contention.
Less
7 to go here.
Yeah, less than 10 laps left, man. It's coming down to the wire if you're going to make a move. If you are Terrence Murphy at this point, 1.8 seconds clear of Fred Chase, you are simply asking for everyone to keep this thing clean and green for the last few miles of this one. He's got a healthy advantage, doesn't really need to force the issue. Just hoping this thing goes green the rest of the way if you're the 5. And everyone else in this top 5 doing whatever they can to get a few more positions. You see there, that is the battle we're watching with the 24 and the 101. This battle for 6th. Some big points on the table right now between Justin Day and Jeff Beatty.
2 weeks ago, Terrence Murphy taking the win at Atlanta. Started first, finished first. Dominant performance there at Atlanta. 2 weeks ago, coming into this night, he needs a win. He needs a win going into that championship next week. This would be really big. This would be his 3rd win on the season. This would be massive. And, you know, I'm just so excited to see what's going to happen for the end of this race, first of all. Not only that, but looking at Homestead, this is going to be one for the ages.
Yeah, looking to put up a good bit of points here tonight. Close that gap. The Harrington and Weaver a good bit. 5 laps to go. The advantage for Terrence Murphy now 2.2 seconds over Fred Chase. As that car there brushed the wall a good bit. I want to say that was the 82 who just got a piece of it going into the corner there. Yeah,
this battle for 6 could heat up here with Justin Day and Jeffrey Petty, if I'm saying that correctly. Sorry if I messed that up. Petty, as I'm getting word. But yeah, Justin Day is hunting him down. They're on the same set of tires here, so we could have a nice battle for 6th right here as we have some lap traffic up here making it a little interesting. Yeah, that is the 101 and the 24 battling right here.
3 laps to go from Chicagoland. This is all coming to a close in just a few laps. The 38 of Ingersoll, he was someone who pit at the very end of this race and was not able to get that track position back, as he is almost getting some contact there with the 82. Boy, they are running so close right now. Petty just trying to find a place to put the race car in between lap traffic. He's not finding a lot of room, and that's why he's not able to get any separation from Justin Day.
Could this be the caution we need? You know, we never know. Is that going 3 wide right there? If I wasn't mistaken, or almost looking like it. Nope. Yeah, they're going to single file out here. But I will say, Michael Harrington looking up front a little bit. 0.6 seconds, half a second away from Fred Chase. Fred Chase is just trying to hold on this final lap.
And the white flag is out here from Chicagoland. It's been a fun one, but for Terrence Murphy, no one has had a better time as he'll make his way into 3 and 4 for the last time here this evening. Ready to put win number 3 on the season on the board here for the 5 team off of turn 4. Terrence Murphy going to be your winner here tonight at Chicagoland.
And that battle for 2nd was going to heat up, but ran out of time for Michael Harrington coming in P3rd. Fred Chase coming in P2nd there. Just ran out of time for Michael.
We'll see if the 5's going to burn this thing down. It's going to be his 3rd win of the season, putting him in a tie with Blake Ward and Michael Harrington for the most in the series this season. A little bit of a tap there from the 8, acknowledging Murphy getting it done here tonight. The Skyline Chili Machine back in victory lane and should certainly change the complexion of this points race, as Murphy is going to close that gap both to Weaver and Harrington here tonight. Big turn of events going into Homestead next week. We have 3 very realistic contenders for the title.
Terrence Murphy burning it down as he should, as he deserves. What an incredible race.
Well, we are going to step aside for a quick commercial break. When we come back, tonight's final results, as well as interviews with your podium finishers. You'll want to hear all about it just after this. We'll talk to race winner Terrence Murphy in just a moment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We are back, folks, here from Chicagoland. What a race it was here tonight, the second to last race of the Average Joe's Sim Racing League Series. This next-gen one has been a ton of fun. And now we're going to bring up tonight's final results. Terrence Murphy got it done here tonight in that number 5 machine, 2.4 seconds clear of the pole sitter Fred Chase. Michael Harrington will bring it home third here tonight. Jonathan Dominick's fourth, just ahead of Nolan McClurg. Jeff Petty will be finishing in the 6th position, just ahead of Justin Day. Corey Moore will be 8th, just ahead of Michael Weaver and Stephen Blevins.
I'm in P11 tonight, that 100 car of Mike Presley. 15 seconds behind Terrence Murphy, your leader tonight. That number 87, Brian Cook coming in P12. Number 52 and 13th, Joshua Holt. Brad Gee in that number 7 car coming in 14. And rounding out your top 15 is that 20 car of Joshua Revel. And one of the first Canadians I've seen tonight, Travis Hunt in that 40 car coming in 16th. John Sheen in the 01 and 17th. Brian Day coming in P18. Your first car 1 lap down. 19th is going to be Jason Rushing. And then in 20th, rounding out that top 20, Todd Ingersoll Jr.
And all these cars, 1 or more laps down. Blake Hewlett will be finishing 21st here tonight. Douglas Ivey, 22nd. Just ahead of Brian Matthews, Blake Ward, and Kevin Burns, who are all 2 laps down this evening. Austin Oliver will be 26th. Ryan McClurg, 27th. Art Milne, 28th, just ahead of Chris Mackey and Jonathan Day. With the last 2 cars in the field tonight, Joseph Myers and Bridger Webb, both out of this race early with significant damage. And now we're going to take a gander to Victory Lane, we're going to be bringing in our race winner tonight, driver of the 5, Terrence Murphy. Hey there, Terrence. This is Alex and Chris in the booth. You got a copy?
What's going on, boys?
Well, win number 3 for you this season's going on, man. What a drive it was here tonight. I feel like you were in the top 3 basically all night long. We're tracking down the 8 for a little bit, and then when he had a setback, you just set sail and did not look back.
Oh, I tell you what, dirty air at this. I didn't get much practice at this track this week, but dirty air here was horrible. Even when I could find a good line and run it, when I was behind the 8 there was just no closing on him. So when I finally did get to that clean air, see you later, I felt so good out there. And I was just praying as those laps counted down, stay green. And hell yeah, win number 3. We got a championship battle on our hands. 1 to go.
Yeah, man. Speaking of that championship battle, you came into tonight within striking distance of those 2 guys in front of you, Harrington and Weaver, and you bested them both. You're going to reel them in a good bit here going to Homestead. What's the mindset knowing that this is a very real possibility with 1 race left this season?
Well, I'm gonna need some help. I came into tonight, I think 21 down. Last week I raced, I think finished 2nd, and I beat Harrington late, but I only gained 1 point. Tonight I should gain 7 or so. It's going to be a hell of a battle to finish it. But like I said, I'm going to need some help. But with the issues that I've had this season, I tell you what, even coming in 2nd or 3rd, I'm going to feel pretty good.
Tell you what, we'll be in for a treat next week. I have no doubt about that. Excited to see what you do after now tying the series lead for 3 wins this season. Terrence, anyone you'd like to shout out from Victory Lane here tonight on celebrating your win?
Definitely Jen and Alex always watch back home. Hell yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hound Dog, I hope you're watching tonight. 3rd win of the season, baby. Grippo's car coming in on a die cast thanks to Blake Hewlett. I'm fired up. Go get you a bag of barbecue chips.
All righty, Terrence, thank you so much for joining us. Congrats on the win, and we will see you next week for that all-important race at Homestead.
All right, thanks, guys.
And that is race winner Terrence Murphy in the 5 machine, getting it done for the 3rd time this season. And now, Chris Bassinger is catching up with our runner-up finisher, Fred Chase, down on pit road.
Fred Chase, this is Alex and Chris up in the booth. You got a copy, my friend?
Yes, sir. How you guys doing tonight?
Man, we're doing good. We just watched an exciting race, and we watched you put on an incredible show, qualifying P1 tonight. Now, I was looking at that final restart. You restarted P10, got all the way up to P2. You pitted a little early there, but you were able to hold off that number 8 car. What was the key to success? How did you do it?
Well, I was battling track position later in the race. I got caught with the green flag cycle there. So trying to battle through my strategy to get back to the front. I short pitted to try to gain track position on Murphy, but just the dirty air in the tires, he was able to run me down.
It was an incredible run from you. You're contending for the win all night. Tell me, how are you feeling going into Homestead next week? I know you're feeling really good about your hopes there, right?
Yeah, I feel pretty confident. 1.5 miles where I'm able to run the top and the bottom seem to fit in my wheelhouse. So looking forward to next week and moving with future races.
I kind of want to, obviously super excited to watch you next week, but I kind of wanted to go back to, those final laps there. I know we kind of touched on it briefly right now, but what was going through your head when, you're on 6 lap older tires, right? What's going through your head when Michael Harrington is tracking you down? Obviously he has that tire advantage. What are you thinking? Are you just praying, or what's going through your head right there?
I felt pretty confident that he was running out of laps. I definitely seen him coming, but I felt pretty confident that with 3, 4, 5, I believe it was like 5 laps to go, that he wasn't going to get to me.
Well, that short pit worked out a lot. I mean, you had a lot of speed tonight. Again, I'm really excited to watch you race at Homestead next week. Hopefully, put on a good show. Go out there and get another pole, and maybe finish it off. Well, Fred Chase, great run from you tonight, and we will see you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
All right, that was Fred Chase. We just heard from there. We're going to be moving on to our third place finisher that Alex was catching up with, Michael Harrington in that 8 car.
Hey there, Michael. This is Doc and Chris up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
I tell you what, come into tonight with the points lead, put together a strong run, led a bunch of laps, podium finish. Might be losing just a touch bit of ground there to Terrence Murphy, who got the win, but still a really strong effort from you. After you had to go from the back to the front, we heard it's been tough to pass tonight. What was it like trying to work your way back into these podium spots?
Yeah, it was for sure. Got caught up on pit road, unfortunately, just with 3 guys trying to leave at the same time. So just unfortunate there. Got some damage and then spun it. But I kind of took a gamble and earned a fast repair. And then I was like, all right, just be patient. Like I felt really comfortable on the bottom, in the middle. So I was just trying to go where guys weren't and just like kind of time runs and not overdrive it. But yeah, for sure, it's super easy to overdrive it here. It's super fast. It was tough getting back up through there, but I started making some ground, and I think the green flag run really helped me. So yeah, I'll take it. It's a great overall finish. Congrats to Murphy, and yeah.
So next week, Homestead, Miami, it's all going to come down to that. You, Michael Weaver, Terrence Murphy, all very much in the hunt here. What's the mindset? How are you feeling going into the last race of the season, knowing that if you go out there and execute the way you've been going all season, you'll end up with a championship at the end of this thing?
Yeah, I'm just trying to be level-headed with it. Trying not to get frustrated if stuff happens and whatnot. Trying to just run my line, run my race, be smooth, try to qualify out front, and just kind of take care of the things that I can control. Besides that, the chips will fall where they may, and may the best man win.
All right, well, may the best man win indeed, and, right now, you've given yourself as good a chance as any. Michael, while we got you up here, anyone you'd like to shout out here tonight on the podium finish?
Yeah, for sure. All my buddies from work that are watching, thanks for watching. I got to shout out my wife. I never shout out my wife. She takes care of my 1.5-year-old while I can do this, so I appreciate her. And thank you guys for putting on a good show, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Well, we certainly did indeed, and you were a big part of it, watching you go from the back to the front. Michael, congrats, and we will see you next week at Homestead.
Thank you, guys.
And that was your third place finisher here tonight, Michael Harrington in the 8 car, bringing home that P3 finish. And with that, we are getting to the end of our coverage window here tonight. Chris, while our time here tonight at Chicagoland is coming to a close, do you have any final thoughts on the race that we got to experience here tonight?
Despite the early cautions, we got them out of the way. The race to the end was absolutely incredible. Just such a wide track, and there was just so much action that we saw. I mean, just the different strategies we saw, different guys coming into play late, like some of the momentum shifts. I mean, truly incredible. I mean, we saw Michael Harrington lead a lot of the first half of the race, and then you saw, he got involved in that incident on pit road. Tires were hot. And you know what? You got caught up in a wreck, and then momentum completely switched. That's where Terrence Murphy came in, and it shakes off this championship race a little bit that we have next week at Homestead, Miami. I'm personally really excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited too. These guys have put on an absolute show tonight. They have really all season. And we come down to the final race where we've got 3 drivers who will be very much in the mix for a championship title, whether it's Michael Harrington, whether it's Michael Weaver, or if it is the winner here tonight, Terrence Murphy. It's all going to come down to that. Next race coming up on your screen here, the MX-5 Trackside Delivery Experience 150. Next week, 8 p.m. right here on Green Flag TV. You're not going to want to miss it. It's been an absolute joy, but for everybody here at the AJSRL, everybody here at Green Flag TV, for producer Christian Hill, co-commentator Chris Bassender, I've been Alex Gagnon saying thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's coverage from Chicagoland, and we're going to see you next week to crown a champion in this series. It's going to be a blast.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.